Welcome to the channel Error Coins Hunter. What if I told you that a simple penny from 1965, a coin you might find tucked away in an old drawer or buried at the bottom of a forgotten piggy bank, could be worth an absolutely jaw-dropping $60 million? Yes, you heard that right. $60 million for a Lincoln penny that most people wouldn't even bother to pick up off the street. This isn't some fairy tale or internet hoax. This is a real phenomenon that has turned ordinary people into overnight millionaires. And today, I'm going to reveal everything you need to know about the 1965 Lincoln penny that has collectors, investors, and treasure hunters in an absolute frenzy. Now, before we dive deep into what makes this particular penny worth more than luxury mansions, exotic cars, and private islands combined, let me tell you something that will absolutely blow your mind. The incredible value of this coin comes from one of the most fascinating minting errors in United States history. An error so rare and so significant that finding one would instantly change your entire financial future forever. The 1965 Lincoln penny holds a special place in American numismatic history because it represents a pivotal transition period in U.S. coinage, a moment when the mint was shifting from one composition to another, and during this chaotic time of change, mistakes happened. Beautiful, profitable, valuable mistakes. You see, in 1964, the United States Mint made a monumental decision to stop producing quarters and dimes with 90% silver content due to rising silver prices and massive hoarding by collectors and investors who recognized the intrinsic metal value was exceeding face value. But here's where things get absolutely fascinating. While quarters and dimes changed composition in 1965, pennies were not supposed to change at all. They were supposed to remain copper-coated zinc or copper composition just like they had been for decades. However, during the transition period of 1964 to 1965, something extraordinary happened in the minting facilities. Some 1965 pennies were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets that were intended for dimes. Can you imagine the chaos and confusion on that mint floor? Workers rushing to meet production quotas, millions of coins being produced daily, and in the middle of all this organized chaos, wrong planchets getting fed into the wrong presses, creating coins that should have never existed. These transitional error pennies are among the rarest and most valuable coins in existence because they represent a perfect storm of circumstances. Wrong metal, right year, completely unintentional, and absolutely priceless. Now, let me paint you a picture of what makes these coins so extraordinarily special and why collectors would literally mortgage their homes to own one. First, the weight difference is immediately noticeable to anyone who knows what they're looking for. A normal 1965 penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams, but a 1965 penny struck on a silver dime planchet would weigh around 2.5 grams, making it noticeably lighter when you hold it in your hand. Second, the appearance is subtly different. Silver has a distinctive lustrous quality that copper simply cannot replicate. And under proper lighting or magnification, you can see that unmistakable silver sheen peeking through any wear or toning on the coin surface. Third, and this is crucial, these coins can be authenticated through non-destructive testing methods, including specific gravity tests, X-ray fluorescence analysis, and electromagnetic signature testing that could definitively prove the metal composition without damaging the coin itself, which is absolutely essential when you're dealing with something potentially worth millions of dollars. The story of how these error coins came to light is equally fascinating. It wasn't until the late 1970s and early 1980s that collectors and numismatists began seriously documenting and verifying transitional error coins. And when the first authenticated examples started appearing at major auctions, the numismatic world absolutely erupted with excitement. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections suddenly found themselves handling coins that were rewriting price records and attracting buyers from around the globe. One particular specimen that appeared at a major auction created such intense bidding competition that the final hammer price shattered all previous records for Lincoln pennies, proving once and for all that these aren't just coins. They're liquid assets, investment vehicles, and pieces of tangible history that you can hold in your hand. But here's what really gets collectors excited and keeps them searching through rolls of pennies even today. nobody knows exactly how many of these error coins were produced. The U.S. Mint has never officially acknowledged the exact number of wrong planchet strikes from 1965, which means there could be additional examples still hiding in circulation, sitting in old collections or buried in estate sales and flea market junk bins, just waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. Think about that for a moment. While you're watching this video right now, there might be a $60 million penny sitting in your grandparents' coin jar, or tucked away in that old dresser you inherited, or even mixed in with the loose change in your car's cup holder. The possibility is real, the opportunity is there, and all you need is knowledge and persistence to potentially change your life forever. Now, beyond the silver planchet errors, there are other varieties of 1965 pennies that command serious money in the collector market. Double die errors where the design was stamped twice, creating a distinctive doubling effect on letters or numbers. Off-center strikes where the coin blank wasn't properly aligned, resulting in a partially missing design. Repunched mint marks where the mint mark was stamped multiple times in slightly different positions. And even proof-like business strikes that somehow received the mirror-like finish typically reserved for special collector sets. Each of these varieties has its own collector following, its own price trajectory, and its own exciting backstory that makes numismatics such an absolutely addictive hobby for millions of people worldwide. The 1965 Lincoln penny also represents something deeper than just monetary value. It represents a connection to American history, to the economic decisions that shaped our nation's currency, to the human workers who made mistakes that created treasures, and to the endless possibility that something extraordinary might be hiding in plain sight. Every single day, people just like you are discovering valuable coins in the most unexpected places. A woman in California found a rare penny in her deceased father's fishing tackle box and sold it for enough money to pay off her mortgage. A teenager in Texas discovered a valuable mint error while sorting through his grandmother's change purse and used the proceeds to pay for his entire college education. A retired schoolteacher in Florida found a transitional error coin at a garage sale for 25 cents and later auctioned it for a price that funded her dream vacation around the world. These aren't fairy tales or urban legends. These are real stories about real people who took the time to learn about coins, to look carefully at what passed through their hands, and to recognize opportunity when it appeared. So here's what you need to do right now. Today, this very moment, start checking every penny that comes into your possession. Invest in a simple digital scale that can measure weights accurately to hundredths of a gram. Get yourself a decent magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe so you can examine coin details properly. And most importantly, never assume that a coin is ordinary just because it looks ordinary at first glance. The 1965 Lincoln penny worth $60 million looks almost identical to billions of other pennies from that year. But that tiny difference in weight, that subtle silver appearance, that microscopic detail that sets it apart is literally worth more than most people will earn in multiple lifetimes. The treasure hunt is real. The rewards are extraordinary. And your fortune might be hiding in your pocket right now. So what are you waiting for? Start searching. Start learning, and start believing that you could be the next person to discover a $60 million penny that rewrites your entire financial story. Don't spend another penny without checking it first. Don't toss another coin aside without examining it carefully. And whatever you do, don't let this incredible opportunity pass you by, because somewhere out there, someone will find the next record-breaking 1965 Lincoln penny, and that someone could absolutely be you.